You're good.
We're good?
Yeah, you can.
I can start. I can fire off.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let me start this off with a full disclaimer. First and foremost, I love everyone that I have relationships with. That being said, there's this thing in the marketing community where a whole bunch of people have this desire, this belief that they want to acquire information that was paid for by other marketers that they call friends, and they want to just get it handed to them, and perhaps it's going to be spit out. Now, there's a way that I go about this. There's two ways to get information out of me. One is, you pay for the information, because that's a really cool way. If you're looking to make, bigger dollars, then feel free to invest in bigger dollars, because there's this vibe. Like, if you're willing to take, at some point it's got to go, right? It's got to go, because if not, you're telling the world, like, I don't want to pay for anything. I just want people to give me money. And that's just a broken flow. Now, the other way to get it is to be a profitable partnership in some way, shape, or form. Now, to me, that's stuff like, hey, you've come through, you've been a number 3 affiliate for my lifetime, and you're like, hey, dude, can I ask you something here? Can I get your help? No problems at all. But if you've never done anything for me, but we've hung out and shaken hands a few times, I'm not going to help you put together a big ticket portion of your funnel, because honestly, that's just you trying to use a relationship to your advantage and not offer anything in return. And you can fuck off with that attitude and mindset.
What if I met you at a convention, right? And say I didn't have money, but I had say I had a body to offer. Would that be enough to get your services?
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. Continue.
A body to offer. Perhaps we should expand on what body means.
BJ.
Definitely not going to get you to where you want to go.
And didn't mean to interrupt your rant, bro. Keep going.
No, it's cool. I'm just gonna wait for you to get a rant going, and then I'm gonna figure something out here.
No, I agree with you, man. Like, I get people hit me up all the time that hey, what do you recommend the best thing to do about email is? What do you recommend the best thing to do about this or that, or how do you write your emails? And I'll help them out to an extent. Welcome, David Kirby, by the way. Welcome, Mehdi Tahani. Welcome, Justin. Welcome, everybody. But they'll hit me up and they'll be like, emails, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I'm like, you want information for free? Okay, well, let me think about how this benefits me. If you're bigger than me or as big as me or a friend of mine, sure, I'll help you. But if I don't know you and you're just asking me email questions, then the fuck? Like, what I started doing? I say, oh, well, if you don't want to take my coaching, I have an hourly call. The rate's $500 an hour. I mean, we'll hop on. I'll help you out with anything you need.
Well, and with that line of thought, I've paid people. I mean, we've talked to David before, and I paid David, I think, $100 for 10 minutes. We got in, the question was sorted. I was willing to pay his hourly rate. He got me sorted in 10. There's $100. You know what I mean? I don't care, because the whole point of growing your business is investing in relationships and information that you want. And I have no problem helping my friends out. You ask anyone who's been a friend of mine, if we have relationships that work, then it's good. But there's two ways to go about acquiring content and information from people. And it's not like, hey, you've been around a while, I've been around a while. Can you show me how to do that thing that you're really good at that I'm not so good at? No. I can't. I paid my money. Like, dude, I paid shit tons of money for this.
Not
if
even
you're still here and you haven't.
In your time.
What? Yeah. So I paid the investment, and now you want the time, my time, plus the information that I paid shit tons of money for. You want that for free, and it's not cool. It's like a slap in the face. So pony up or don't. I don't really care.
Yeah.
That it bothers me, man.
Well, it goes both ways, right? Because in our last episode, we talked about how to, build strategic relationships, and you do that by helping people. But if you go to someone that you don't have a relationship with and just start asking for tips, I mean, guys, if I were to calculate my hourly rate, it's somewhere like for the amount of hours that I work and the amount of money that I make, it's somewhere from $300 to $600. So that's about what I charge for an hour long Skype call. And if you come to me and we don't have a relationship and you've never promoted my stuff, I've never promoted your stuff, we've had one conversation at an event, I might answer one question, but anything beyond that, I don't work for free, and none of us should. Like fuck. Like while you're sitting here asking me this question, and I'm having to open my phone and look at your question, you're interrupting the work I'm currently doing, which one is annoying, and two, like you need to pay me if you want my advice, because that's just how it is, unless we're friends, in which case you can have my advice.
Look at it this way, okay? So say you're someone who's in the business, you've been around a while, you're good. You don't want to pay anything. You don't want to help contribute to my business in any way, but hey, we're totally pleasant. We have a good time. So how do I tell my clients that having a beer with me justifies, like is the equivalent to a $5,000 package? How do I tell you that? Like, how do I tell people that is what it is? It's not, man. And like, look, I get wanting to do that, and I'm not saying I don't help people, because I help out in any way that I can, but there's a limit to what I'm willing to do. You know what I mean? There's just like, yeah, oh, just try this. That's good. But when you want something and you're looking for extra information and you really want to build something out of it that's going to put a lot of money in your pocket, why would I give you that for free? Like, I just don't understand that. And I wouldn't expect that for free. I did at one point. I'm not going to lie. Like, I totally thought that somebody was going to come one day, grab me by the arm and say, hey, little guy, let me show you how to make this work. But that's not reality. That's not how things happen. And if you want to charge more for your time, pay for my time. You know what?
I said, I'll touch your arm. It looks pretty cute. That's a cute arm you got there, Bill.
Take me under your wing, Mr. Gilbert.
Oh, if I had $1 for every time I heard that, I'd have $1.
Right. Kim's down. I like it. It's good stuff. Or yeah, I think that's right.
Jubon Kang. It's good to make a consulting page with prices. Yep.
Yes, sir.
I got one. And anytime somebody starts asking me more than one question, I send them into that and I say, here's where you can book an hourly call. I'm free right now if you want to do it.
Well, here's an example. A perfect thing of that is Brad Goss. Everybody knows who he is, right? He's Canadian. Yep. We made some jokes one point way back in the day. Like, this was when I was pretty new. I'd done a launch or two, and I'm like, hey, man. Like, I tried to play the Canadian vibe on him and stuff like that. Like, we're boys. We're like, hey, man, I just have a few questions about my business that, do you mind if I run them by you real quick? He's like, absolutely, man, 100%. Cheryl is my assistant, and I'll get her to book you in for a call. It's about $500 an hour, and we'll get her all set up. I was like, boom! From that day forward, it's just like,
and that's what I'm gonna start doing. That's beautiful.
It's
welcome,
perfect.
Thomas Owen, to the call, buddy. Welcome. Yeah, I mean, and see, like, that's what you'll notice is the guys who have, like, we obviously, Bill, both me and you have made it, but we're like the upper middle tier of people who have made it. The people who have really made it, like made it, who are like, I am celebrities. That's the type of stuff they do. They say, sure, I'd love to help you. Here's my assistant. Book an appointment, and I'll help you out. I'd love to help you out. And see. That's what I'm starting to learn, because that's what I'm moving towards, right? I actually got Frank Kern to like one of my statuses. That made like my entire year. Frank Kern liked one of my statuses. How fucking cool is that? Anyway, but I don't expect his time for free, right? So I would never hit him up and be like, hey, I have a question. Did you tell me how to, sell a product and make millions of dollars? Never. And you shouldn't either. That's a very easy and bad way to get, give a very bad first impression. Welcome, Mike Balmakita, Balmakata. Just welcome, whatever. But yeah, man, seriously, don't go asking people for free help unless you already have a relationship and you're friends.
No, that's just my rant. Like it's one of those things that kind of comes and goes in waves, and it's not like, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it's just like, let's think about it in a different way. You're trying to get all this money to come into you, but you don't see the value in giving the money to someone else. So there's going to be this broken thing. Like it's just broken. If you think the money is just going to keep coming in, and you're not going to get to build and grow at all, you're not willing to build and grow and invest. And here's even the thing. If this is someone you're considering a buddy or a friend or something like that, if you don't have the respect to at least offer some cash for their time, like I won't even tell you how many times I've been like, hey, dude, do you mind we grab a sit down? I'll give you whatever your going hourly rate is. We get home for 15, 20 minutes and it's like, hey, don't worry about it. I've done those too. That's fine. But like, at least, you know, offer your buddy something. Otherwise, it's just like a smack in the face.
Yeah, and even now, like when I do information trades with people, like if somebody's good with Facebook or something and I'm trying to learn Facebook and they want to learn email marketing, we still, even now, we still offer exchanges of information. I'll exchange email information, you exchange Facebook information. Now we've both gotten ahead. You know, there's still an exchange taking place, even with people that I'm friends with. Now, I'm always open to help out. I'll see you later, K. Amy Byrne, you old guard, you. Take it easy, brother. But there's always some sort of exchange, unless I'm trying to build a relationship with you. If I'm trying to build a relationship with you, I'll generally try to help you out for free. Otherwise, you got to pay me, because if my students have to pay me $5,000 for email coaching, I'm kind of doing them a disservice by helping you for free, you know, if that makes sense.
What do you guys think? You guys think we're on point here? Or what?
Yeah, and we're also taking guest callers. So if somebody would like to hop on the Google Hangout, post in chat, I will send you a link and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Timothy Mills looks like I got punched in the eye. No, I didn't. It's this big ass zit. I got this big ass zit on my cheek because I'm going through puberty. My balls haven't dropped yet, so I'm getting there though, guys. I'm really excited.
You missed the close-up of it, actually, while we were waiting for people to jump on. Who does one of these, like, check her out. Look, look at that thing. Ah! Man, it looks like it hurts. Does it, like, when you poke it, does it hurt?
Yeah.
Poke it right now, see.
It's got that. Anyone want to come on the call? Or else I'm just going to start ranting about some shit I want to rant about. If no one else wants to hop on. Anyone want to hop on and be a guest caller for the marketing hour? Anyone? Just type in chat if you do, and I'll get my assistant to send you a private link. My assistant being Bill. You know, man, I got hit hard the other day, Bill.
You did.
I did. Well, not in the face. I just mean like industry-wise. Someone called me out, you know, after we had that big ethical marketing hour show. Well, someone on another show, which I'm going on after this one, called me out and was like, this guy's a fraud and bullshit and yeah, fuck you, you fucking cunt. And I was like, damn. You know, like that's rough, which is why I made that apology episode yesterday. But he's right. He was right. So, I think it's the intent that matters. Have you had anything interesting happen in your life?
Not so much quite like that. Knocking on wood for that. And as far as interesting in my life over the last little while, nah, man, it's just summer. We're just running around. But hey, man, you know, I want to say it's a good thing that stuff like this is happening out there, that people are being called out. There is accountability. I don't know. I don't know who's exactly calling who out. The one thing I would say out of caution for them is that when you're going to act like the big swinging dick in town, you better have all your legal ducks in a row when you start using names and you start using accusations. I don't care making points. We've left names off of this for a reason.
Never
but
called
man,
named anyone. He called me. He said my name directly.
Right. And that's opening himself up to slander suits in a whole bunch of different places here. And for what? I mean, why don't you try and get the guest on first and then have a quick chat with them? But when
Yeah.
you put someone up on the block and you swing at them, like, man, that's a little bit,
Oh man,
that's a little bit
I
shitty.
watched. I finally saw what was said this morning. It was like he put my head over the log and swung the axe and chopped it off, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I didn't realize it was that bad. But I made up
See,
with him.
that's just, I don't know. That's lowest common denominator shit. If you see a problem, great. But I think Steven's the type of guy that would jump on there. He has to. What has he said so far on the shows, right? Like we've been pretty open about stuff. So like try and have some responsibility in what you're doing. Otherwise you're everybody who's ever filed a false dispute, false claim, false ripoff report, that shit, they're the people who are following you when you go that aggressive. Like just try and sort the problem out by talking to the person. I don't like what was done to you. I think it could have been handled, but I like that people are starting to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what I said last night was, criticism is a good thing because at the end of the day, even though he called me out, even though he said my name, his points were valid. And if we continue to criticize each other and hold each other to the higher standard, hell, that's all I fucking want. I want the IM industry to become a better industry. I want it to become a better place. So while my feelings were kind of hurt, his points were valid. So now I made a video publicly apologizing because he was right, and now after this, I'm going to go on his show and we'll hang out, we'll talk, and everything's cool. But criticism is a good thing. Welcome, Martin Scott. Thanks for joining us. All right, you know what else I fucking hate, Bill? Spammers. I fucking hate spammers. I fucking hate people who trade lists. I fucking hate people who spam people even after they unsubscribe. I tried to get someone to come on here because she's starting to call people out that are doing it. And so I want to get her on here, and I just want to start listing off every single fucking person that's spamming and then show the proof like on screen. Like, look, here's where they did it. Look, here's where they unsubscribed. Look, here's where I got their email again the next day. I fucking hate spammers, and it's for two reasons. First reason is it's illegal. Not that I give a shit about the law anyway. The second reason is it really pisses off customers, right? And when you piss off customers, again, you heard all of us. Like, okay, I'll tell you a story. 6 years ago, when I first started IM, I was working with Chris Munch, all right? And an email marketing just came naturally to me. I was super fucking good at it. I had a list of like 800 people, and I was like winning leaderboard after leaderboard after leaderboard. So Chris Munch hits me up, and he says, "Hey man, do you want to write my emails for me? I'll pay you." And I said, "Sure, yeah, I'd love to. Welcome, Simon, by the way. And so we go and we're working for a couple weeks, and my dumbass 19-year-old greedy self decides to take his list and spam them. I did that. That was me. And you know what happened to me when he found out? One, he sued me. Well, he didn't really sue me, but he kept $15,000 that he owed me, which he rightfully should have. Second, he called me out publicly, publicly, on Facebook, Skype groups, everything, and ruined my reputation, right? And to me, it was the worst thing that could have ever happened. And I was just a dumb, greedy-ass 19-year-old kid. I mean, we all make mistakes. Nowadays, if you spam and you get called out on it and you get caught, no one gives a fuck. Like, there are no repercussions. There's no oversight. There's no nothing. So part of it is me being jealous that no one else is getting punished for breaking the law. Well, at least if you live in America, you're breaking the law. But no one else, like, people have just like started to accept that spamming has become commonplace. Now, Chris Munch and I, we've made up, we've started, we've got a relationship again. And I made a lot of changes to my business. I don't spam anymore. I mean, I'm 26 years old. I mean, this is 7 years later, like I've learned a lot of life lessons between then, but like people should not be fucking spamming. Just don't be fucking doing it. Don't, because you're gonna get caught, and when you do, I'm fucking coming for you. I'm saying it right now. I'll make sure that your ass gets like grilled. Like I remember, like last year, I called 2 people out, and both of them, they don't even exist anymore. They're not even in the industry. So if you're watching and you spam, you're gonna get your head chopped off on the chopping block, and I'll do it with proof too. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, so for that episode where you drop names, I'm not going to be on that because of the aforementioned dealio with lawsuits and shit. Because, man, I get it. I get the problem. However, hold on. I want to keep going here with something, because everybody's acting like this is an epidemic. And one of the things that's crazy is that if I add my list right now, my name to a list now, I'm getting way less ads than I did when I got here. Like, you would put your name on you would buy a product and you would have your name on like 16 lists when I first started on internet marketing in the first day. And now I can actually go a regular period of time. So yeah, spamming is shitty. However, I want to take note, because I'm not that guy who's always looking at the bad, who's always looking at the positive, who's looking to bring people down. I'm looking at the good. I think we've got some people that are moving up. I think we've got people that are understanding the rules. Yes, spam is shit, but let's look at the good things as well, because I'm not getting added to 50 lists right away. And before, you'd open an email one week and you'd have 3,400 messages in 1 week, and you got to start a new one. Right? So yeah, spamming is evil. Don't do it. Don't re-add people to your list when they leave. But you know, we're coming along. And the names we just got to be careful about, man. Like, because there's some suits, and we don't know. Like, we don't know if people have.
Listen, Bill, it's not my podcast. It's our podcast. You know, if you don't want me to name drop, I won't name drop. But I think if we have the proof, and I can prove that this person is spamming, and share the screen, then that's not slander at all. I mean, would that be something you're okay with, or not okay with?
The thing is, I don't know. There's a lot of people that can do a lot of shit and get into a lot of files and can add someone to the same list and put the same name at the bottom of it with the same from email. You know, there's a lot of people that can do some shady shit out there. Now, I know some people are doing it, but I don't know that everybody else has done it. Have you ever had a purchase leave with your details online? Yeah. You know, this stuff happens. So there's a line. And no, I'm not saying that it's right. What I'm saying is that we need to make sure that it's 100% fact. So here's what I'll say. If we want to put them on the show and invite them in and say, hey, you got a chance to talk about this. This is what we're going to talk about. I have proof. Come on the show. And we do what I just said earlier to prevent any malicious shit, then fine. But I don't think having just an episode of dump helps anyone. I think having someone on to talk about their position, I think that helps. A post, sure, but to come in and talk about it without having them here to defend themselves, I don't think is,
because that would
a great idea.
Kind of like exactly what happened to me. What's up, TJ Farrell? What's up, Eric? What's up, Stefan, Carlos? Welcome, Kirby. David Kirby says, I've had someone spam me using my exact email before and send it like my own style also. I've had that done too. And I made a public post on Facebook, and that guy isn't around anymore. Just ask Martine. Martine is Firas, by the way. I call Firas Martine.
Well, yeah, man, I'm totally good with calling them out. I just think we got to make sure that we hold a certain standard.
So
who wants to come on? Go ahead.
So what's the standard? Let's think about it. Let's say, look, we messaged in private. We said we have proof you're spamming. We want to talk to you live about it on the show. Would you like to join us? Is that what we do? Because I think you're right. I think it's not cool to call people out if they're not there to defend themselves. But I also think there needs, to be like a watchdog type deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I do. I also think, where's the limit of policing the internet and where's the justice system involved in that? So I think if we tell them like, hey, look, this is coming to our attention, then we can talk about it and bring them on. I think that works. I don't want to do anything where they're not around, because then that opens to like what you were feeling the other day. And while we may have a valid point, they're like, and then they got to post a video, and then it goes into all this stuff. Instead, we could just say like, hey, this is the deal. I mean, David Kirby, perfect example, right?
But yeah, I agree with you. Because it wasn't fair for me to get called out and not be there to defend myself, right? So I think if we can get them on the show and they'll come on the show and talk about it, cool. And if they don't, then we get to say, well, we had some accusations that this guy was spamming. Here's the proof. We asked him to come on the show and he didn't, and we'll leave it at that and then move on. That way we don't have a whole show where it's just like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? What do you think about
definitely. I don't know. We'd have to talk about it. We'd have to look at all the proof and have to make it on a case by case. I just don't like using anybody's name when they're not there. And if they say no, they've been asked, who knows what we open ourselves up to. So that's something, you know what, I'll talk to the lawyer. I'm going to see him. I got an invoice. I'll ask him what's up, because I don't want to float on that ground and see what he has to say. I did want to get on this. Yeah. There you go. David Kirby's got it. Jesse, spamming does work. That's why people do it. It's all volume, right? You throw enough shit at the wall, some of it's going to stick. And if you're constantly doing something where you're re-adding, there's still portions of those people who are going to buy something. So it's just a numbers game. So spamming works. It always has worked.
Hang on. Scott Lachelle says, make it a learning lesson, not just a bitch session. Scott, would you like to come on the Hangout real quick and talk about what you mean? Just say yes in chat, and I'll make sure a link gets sent to you. Anyway, continue. Welcome, Andy Black.
I don't even know where I was anymore. Spamming works. I mean, bottom line is that it works. That's why people do it, right? They always will. Now, one of the other things to keep in mind here is the acquisition of the list. Where does it come from? It's not illegal to sell emails. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of legalities and stuff like that I know I've seen in some of the chat groups about this exact same thing in the launching space, where it's totally okay to sell emails, but it's like not okay to do, I don't know, it's something. But information is for sale, especially in the United States, like crazy. Like there are so many list companies and co-reg companies that are, it's insane, right? You don't remove the checkbox from the little, and boom, you're open season to anyone. I mean, that's been going on as long as I can remember.
Being welcome. I'm going to get a link over to Scott Lachelle, and we're going to see what he has to say about this. So, Scott, I'm sending you the link via Facebook chat now. Let's hop on in, and we'll talk for a second, and then when you're done, close out the window. This will be our first. It's cool. It's like kind of like we're taking callers, like talk radio. Jesse Winterholt says, okay, I know, I do get random emails, but I guess over time, I think I signed up somewhere, so I guess that makes sense, but never thought about it. Jesse, a lot of people, what happens is they'll take people that unsubscribe from their list and then just start spamming the fuck out of them, doing whatever they want. You know, and when you have, like, the thing about IM buyers is they like to buy things. So a spammer can take a list of 10,000 spam and then make money because it's an IM product and IM buyers like to buy things. Looks like Scott's here. Scott, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you doing, buddy?
Scott.
I can't hear you if you're talking.
I can't hear him either. Now his face is stuck.
Yeah, well, we'll wait till he gets going.
I mean, good sweater, though.
While we wait, Jesse Winterhold asks, what do you think about solo ads? Well, I mean, I've never done them.
I'll tell you next month. I'm going back in with a whole shit ton of money to throw at it coming up here, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, solo ads require a little bit of cleverness, I think, because they're all freebie. So you got to turn them from freebie seekers into building a relationship and then turn them into fans, and then they become buyers. It's a long process, but I think it's possible. But it's definitely not something where if you get 100 leads, you're definitely going to start making money right away. A lot of testing. Oh, there's Scott. Scott, when you have, like, the thing about IM buyers is Scott, they like. Could you mute my my show on your computer so there's no feedback? Freebie seekers.
Let's see.
So you got to turn them from freebie seekers into building a relationship and then turn them into fans, and then they become buyers. It's a long process, but I think it's possible. But it's definitely not something where if you get 100 leads, you're definitely going to start making money right away. I'm going to mute him until he's got himself figured out. Did you get it figured out?
So,
Scott?
Yep.
All right. Welcome, Scott.
Oh, there we go.
So
thanks. Good to be here.
You had mentioned turn it into a learning session, not a bitch session. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, what I mean by that is I was listening about talking about what somebody else has done when they're not there to defend themselves. I mean, if I get called on something, I definitely would like to be there so that, you know, if it was something I did by mistake, which okay, this kind of thing they didn't do by mistake, but at the same time, you know, what I mean by a bitch session, which was probably wrong wording, but what I thought is, you know, being able to have them on, call them on what wasn't right, and, you know, and then say, okay, what were you thinking? Why'd you do it this way? I think it's good to take these kind of things, because there's a lot of people out there that do some of this underhanded stuff, but at the same time, let's learn from it. Let's learn what people are doing, so number one, we can maybe defend ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I think once we start this process, I think you're right. What do you think about that, Bill?
I think that I think that's kind of my mindset as well. The one thing that I thought about as you were saying that was, I remember being told that people were actually being taught to fake screenshots on launch sales pages. So it wouldn't be too much of a stretch of the imagination to realize that people are being taught this kind of stuff. And I understand, right, like there's a certain level that you need to accept responsibility for things, but also there's a lot of new people that get thrust into believing this is the way to do it because someone's done such an amazing job at creating this celebrity and star status that they don't know that this isn't how it's actually done. So there's also that comes into place, and then it comes down to the teachers, and what are they teaching? What are these coaches throwing out there? Because this was being taught for a long time to just go out, and I guarantee you it's still being done today, to just make up the sales page screenshots. And it's really simple to do.
And I know for a fact there's people teaching students to spam, too, by the way. I know for a fact. Point.
So we got to watch out who it is, right? And then it's more about getting to the root as opposed to just the person who did it, because this guy's like, well, you know, I paid $1,000 and this guy told me to do it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Scott, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I think, and part of what I liked about this is, I mean, I've had communication back and forth with Steven for a while now, but what I've liked is, it's kind of like let's get past the crap. Let's get past the negative aspect of what people are doing and try to do it the right way. Don't you know? I mean, there's a lot of people. In fact, I collect my emails that I get. Just sometimes it's just really a laugh because it's like, you know, okay, how did I even get on this person's list?
Yeah.
You know, because I know that I've been on somebody's list that I never signed up for. Whether it was somebody had shared, I don't know, and you know, that's not something I can dwell on right now. But I think it comes back to, you know, having a bit of integrity in what you're doing, and if you're being taught something that is kind of underhanded, and really cheating, not working for it, how people should be doing, you know, then you need to be associating with people, even if it's just the email, you know, a Facebook group, whatever it is, where it's more integrity based and not cheating based. That's really what my opinion and my take on the whole thing is.
All right, Scott. Well, thanks for calling in, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and move
Thanks,
on.
Scott.
To the next
Okay, hey, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I wanted to talk here. Manuel says this, and I believe this. I know that there are a lot of marketers that I follow. I know that my entire business was built on solo ads to begin with. The one thing I've always said is you do have to put a little more work in. And solo ads do buy. They always have purchased. They just take work.
Yeah. No. I think
Like all that marketing stuff, we have to do marketing to build them up.
You know, I like what Scott said. You know, get them on here, make it a learning experience. Let's hold each other accountable. I think that was a good point. So, Sylvester King, so what's the way out? Because it's getting out of hand. Some will even spam another marketer's Facebook Live. Yeah, actually, on our last episode, some people were posting links to affiliate offers in the comment section of the hang on, let me close out Facebook of the Facebook Live, which I just thought was hilarious. I just deleted it. But see, Sylvester, the way out is to create one email address that you use to buy products that you don't use for anything else, and then you don't have to worry about it. Because what happens is there's marketers out there that will trade lists. They'll spam unsubscribes. Any leads they can get their hands on, they'll get them, and then just spam. And if your email is in that, then you get that. So create a personal email that you only use to buy products, but also keep in mind if there's people that you trust and want to learn from, whether that's like me or Bill or anything, then use an actual email. So I think that's the only way to protect yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. And just so you know, it's not. Why am I hearing myself like this isn't a localized problem for internet marketing. I'm on a few other lists in a few different niches, and the same thing happens. The investment area, for one, those guys are notorious for getting that list handed out. So again, it's like, where's the rule coming from? You know what I mean? Like, where are they? Do they set up in a place where this is totally legal? Like, what's the deal? Because it's not just localized. So perhaps clarity on what the actual law is.
Well, the law is pretty straightforward, and I'll explain.
Where's the law apply to? Please do, because you know all about this.
I'll explain it. Hang on, I'm typing out.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, Manuel. Is co-reg stuff is right out there, right? It's part of the game. It happens. Selling the info isn't illegal.
Yeah, co-reg is normal as long as the person that's being co-reg, like the list that the person is being co-reg to, that person is involved in a launch. Like if I'm doing a launch and it's me and my partner, and then I'm also co-regging the leads to Bill, like that's some shady shit. Like that's immoral, obviously.
Unless you've got a terms of service or privacy policy agreement down at the bottom stating that your information's for sale and you didn't read it. Like those are the things I'm talking about, right? Because info or listguy.com, I used to use that and I would buy the leads. It was totally cool. There's a whole bunch of places to buy your leads from. Corporations do it all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the law at least for the United States. If you're not in the United States, it obviously doesn't fucking apply to you. The law for canned spam says, okay, that it's really a shitty law. It doesn't really do anything to prevent spam. It says you are allowed to email anyone you want, even if they didn't opt in, marketing materials. Okay, you're allowed to do it. But as soon as they unsubscribe, if you ever email them from any other list or from your list or from anywhere without them manually resubscribing, that's when you've broken the law. So it didn't really can any spam. It's completely legal to tell people, completely legal. But what's not, I don't know where the gray area is when you start trading lists with people and things like that. I'm not sure how legal that is or not, but you can, it's completely legal to do it. It's just, I feel like there's people that go beyond the initial mail. Like, so they'll send out a spam email, which is completely legal. A bunch of people will unsubscribe. They'll ignore the unsubscribes and keep mailing the unsubscribes. That's when they're breaking the law. That's when, if you wanted to, you could hire a lawyer and sue them. And for every email they send you after you unsubscribe, there's some sort of shit ton high fee they're supposed to pay you. You see, the law was set up so that the free market could regulate it, right? So that if somebody was spamming you, you could sue them, and if you had the proof, they had to pay out. You know what I mean? There's not really anyone monitoring this. It's supposed to be a self-monitoring, self-contained system, but no one goes out, no one hires a lawyer, and no one sues anyone. And of course, this only applies to people in North America. Obviously, I don't know the spam laws of Canada. But that is. Jesse Winterholt says, yeah, but as an end user, how would you even combat that? Are people really going to contact a lawyer? Yeah, they're actually, Jesse, there is a lawyer that goes after spammers. He's known for it, actually. I don't know the name off my head, but if you Google it, you will find him and his name. I mean, it's illegal. It's illegal to spam once someone has unsubscribed. You can email anyone you want as long as they've never unsubscribed from you. But if you mail someone after they've unsubscribed for you, you're opening yourself up to a lawsuit. And there really are stories of of suits and lawsuits that have taken place. I mean, there was even a spammer, a black hat spammer, that got like 6 years in federal pen for it. So it seems like the government seems to only jump in when it's on a giant level. But if you're a customer and you keep getting spammed by the same person that you unsubscribed from, find a lawyer, sue him, and then they have to pay you for breaking the law. Like, they'll fucking, they have to write, you'll win. Like, they're breaking the law. So, in our industry, guys, is because it pisses off consumers, and when you piss off consumers, we all lose. So that's why I hate spamming.
Agreed.
Jesse just posted the Canadian law. You want to open that up and start reading it?
Well, I'll see how in detail this is. I can't click it on there, so let's go back, check it over here.
Manuel Reyes says it's common practice in the financial niche to spam. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say on the call? We're taking callers. I'll give you a link. You can hop on, give your opinion, and then hop off. Anyone at all. Anyone's welcome.
Where is you? Oh, let's go there. Okay, there we go.
Scott says, think about being in prison and people asking, what are you in for? Spamming. Yeah, I mean,
I think the first question you'd get is, can you set it up for me? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Seems like a pretty simple way to make friends in there.
Sylvester,
I'm going from totally you're already convicted, so like make friends kind of mindset. What's that?
Sylvester King says, this month alone, I've received mails up to 700 plus within 5 days from people I know nothing about. I have unsubscribed to a point I could not anymore. I just click on all and send it to a follower because I have lost important mail by this. Something has to be done. Yeah, Sylvester, as soon as you unsubscribe, if they email you again, you can sue them. And I guarantee you can find a lawyer that won't make you pay him until you win the lawsuit. Seriously. I would just sue the shit out of them. I've been thinking about doing it myself because it's happening to me too. Off the top, I'm not going to name names because I'm not an asshole and they're not on the show. But off the top of my head, I know 4 marketers. I have unsubscribed from all 4 of their lists, and I still get their emails. And you know, at this point, I just create what you can do. You can also create a manual filter on your inbox to filter out certain emails. So if I created a filter to filter out their names, so that I just don't get their shit. So that's another way to combat it is to filter it out. Oh, boy.
Here's a quote I got from that link, okay? And I just want to read this right now because this might help with some of the people. The law itself is horribly complex to operate within. So basically, we need to understand rocket science to be running with CAN-SPAM and do it properly. Like legally, like with legal jargon.
At least in Canada, yeah. I mean, in the United States, it's completely legal to email anyone you want, even if they didn't opt in. But as soon as they unsubscribe, if you email them again, that's when you break the law. Now, is it moral? That's another story. You know, I personally think it's immoral to spam people that didn't want to have information from you. I think it's very immoral. I think it's unethical. I think it's wrong. And I think it hurts the industry as a whole. But let's move on to another topic, Bill. What's something else?
Hold on. I like that because I just thought of something that was like, you're like, I think it's wrong and immoral. And I just thought about it really. Well, I don't get too put off about flyers that indiscriminately get sent to my home address. Some of the times I use them to actually buy stuff. So to me, you know what I mean? Is it just where it falls in because it's a totally effective tool for marketing. Now, the problem is you do have to follow those guidelines. So people that aren't putting you on a list that give you the opportunity, then yeah, you're douches. But I definitely love the fact that people can just send me unsolicited material. It's made a wonderful buying experience for me over the years. So I'm down with it. Like, go to town. Just make sure you're following any guidelines that are applicable to where you're sending it.
I think okay, see, I think the difference is this, Bill. I think, you know, we're all used to junk mail and we just throw it in the trash, right? Welcome, Ankit Mehta. Nice to have you here, buddy. I think the difference is personal, right? When you like, and I tell this to my students, emailing is a way to get directly into someone's attention and soul. Like, so if someone opens your email and reads it, you have their full attention. And the thing about emails is it's a lot harder to differentiate between what's junk mail and what isn't. Whereas when you get junk mail in the mailbox, you know it's junk mail. You know, you just throw it out. And I think email is much more personal because it's connected to our phones, and we're always all on our phones, and it's connected to our life. And so I think that's why I feel like it's wrong. I mean, I get your point. It's a good point. I think email is much more personal than opening mail from a mailbox.
I guess so. We'll have to agree to disagree on that one because I don't even use email anymore. My email is pretty much the same as the mailbox. You know, what I use those flyers for is, oh, this guy is promoting his real estate services. He doesn't actually have a mobile website. I'll give him a call, see if I can sell one. I've used marketing to turn it around and make money off of it. So I'm kind of a fan of it. I understand what you're saying. Like, I get that it is a personal thing for people. But if you notice, emails aren't a safe place. They're just going to continue to get advertising materials. No matter how you safeguard them, you will. I have one email that was supposed to be good. Now, currently, it's sitting at 96 new emails today. I just popped her open. Like, email's done for me. You know my social, you know my phone number, you know my, which apparently isn't going to be safe for long because people are getting really into that. You know my phone number, you know, you have my Facebook PM access. Facebook's great because after a certain point, they just send everyone else to the trash and you don't even see it. Like, you don't even see it if you don't want to. Skype's the same thing. If I let you in, then you can spam me. But I think that my social media accounts, people ask for my email all the time, and I'm like, dude, don't even bother. Like, just give me the JV Access email because I'm not giving it to you. Right? Like, it's suddenly on list because you got free access to something.
Welcome, Jimmy James. Manuel Moreira says, in a weird way, I'm jealous of all the spammers, because I'm struggling to inbox my emails legitimately, and those fuckers always find a way to do it. I know, man.
Love
I know.
that.
Honestly, the reason people spam is because it's very profitable. It's very, very profitable. And until there's some way of calling these people out and making them feel embarrassed and ashamed and guilty, then it's going to keep happening. Jesse Winterhold asks, is SMS spam? I get a lot of that. Okay, so I think the laws for SMS is different. I don't think it falls under canned spam, and I'm not exactly sure on that. Let me preface this with saying I'm not a lawyer, but I know that I don't think anyone's allowed to send you promotional text messages without your permission first. So if you get a promotional text message without permission, then yeah, I think that's against the law. Hey, Andy, welcome to the show, buddy. Good to have you here. Guys, let's see. How long has this show been running? We have 6 minutes left before the hour is up. Let's take a quick break to talk about our advertisers, American Spirit and Gatorade. Thanks to both of them for making this show possible. And other than that, would anyone like to come on the call and propose a topic for us to rant about for the final few minutes? If not, we'll just keep going on our own. Have you noticed any shitty sales pages recently, Bill, that are way over the top?
I haven't, man. I've been so bogged down in just working and stuff. I haven't been spending my usual time trolling through the sales page section. I'm busy, man. Just too busy to be checking that out. Summertime is always chaotic. Like, if I get downtime, I'll do it. But I have no downtime. 2 9-year-old boys, a business where you can work whenever you want to. You generally tend to fill up that day with family and then work at night. And I'm not going to lie to you, the Xbox gets a little bit of use too. Like, people will be like, PM. And I'm just at the point for the day where I got to just shoot some stuff.
Yeah.
So not yet. Not recently.
Because I slept in. I mean, that's the thing. Is like sometimes I'll work like 18-hour days, but then sometimes I'll work like 2-hour weeks. It's very different. and unfortunately, the day before I had an 18-hour day, so I slept in, which is why we missed that episode yesterday. But this has been a fun episode so far, wouldn't you say?
I think so, man. I just like it because it's cool. We got a caller today. I really like that. Scott, right? Yeah. Scott, like, good job jumping on and getting out there.
Yeah, if more people want to jump on, I mean, we want to take callers. We want this to be just like an IM talk radio show. So if you want to call in, write in chat. I'll send you a link. You come on, say your piece, and then get back off, and we'll talk about it. Let me ask you guys this, because this is something Bill and I have been talking about. We're really trying to make the marketing hour a movement, right? To take internet marketing to a higher level of morality and goodness. And obviously, everyone makes mistakes, which is why I made that video yesterday, apologizing because the points that were made were correct. But what do you think? What do you guys think if we started to do just a little bit of advertising, like not for personal profit for us, but so that we can use that money to pay for traffic to get more people to see the show, so that the movement grows faster? Do you guys think like, and when I say advertising, I just mean like saying, hey, this show is brought to you by so-and-so who has a launch coming up on so-and-so. And that's it. It's like one sentence. Would you guys like think that that's annoying, or would that take away from the quality of the show at all? Because really right now, the way we're advertising, it's coming out of our own pockets, and it would be nice if we could just get a little bit of money from our shows so that more people can see it. You know, would you guys like, you guys think that would be a bad thing if we allowed people to advertise? It wouldn't be anything crazy. It'd just be like a one-line mention. People say, do it.
We're 100% do it. I think it's good because, I mean, I don't think we're gonna go out and be those guys. Like, obviously, we're not gonna spam you because Steven's just made sure that won't happen. Damn it. So like, we want to be able to grow this, and I think that it'll be a classy way. If you got a launch, come on in, let us know what it is, and it can sponsor the show. It works because we'd like to build it. And this way, everybody's, because we have a lot of affiliates and product creators that are watching this. This way you get a chance, get some exposure, and it allows us to build our base.
Yeah, because basically all we're going to use the money for is to pay for Facebook ads so that more people see the show. Like, you know, Bill and I both make enough money from our other projects. I mean, the pure purpose of this show is to not only have a place for internet marketers to hang out and talk about important topics, but again, it's also to hopefully help start a movement and help make the IM industry a better place. So if you guys think ads are cool, then yeah, we're going to start doing that. So a disservice. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. I'm glad to hear it. Well, we're coming up on the hour. We've got 17 seconds left. Special thanks to Scott Lachelle for jumping on the call. Everyone keep in mind that, you know, this is talk radio. So if you want to call in, we'll get you a link, and you can hop on and say your piece, and we'll talk about it. But so far, I'd just like to say thanks for watching. Anything you'd like to say, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. But guys, you don't even have to like put your face on the video if you don't want. I remember being awkward about my background, or like if I look good. You guys can just use your pictures. I mean, we'd love to hear from you. The more that we can get you engaged and be part of this, the more we can make it better and talk about some cool things and have some fun and get to know you guys. I mean, the chats and comments and stuff are really cool. By the way, like, we have a super engaged bunch of people that do come on the show. But we'd love to hear from you. It'd be great, and it's an opportunity for you to get your face out there. So come on next week.
That's true. All right, guys. This has been a great episode of The Marketing Hour. Normally our episodes are Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, so we will see you then. Until then, thanks for watching. We're available on iTunes, Android, several different podcast apps. We're all over the place. You can find us. Guru, where all of our episodes are posted. Again, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.
We are done on the live.